Welcome, goddesses. My name is Ashley from the Goddess Provisions team, and I'll be guiding you through our full moon Hatha yoga class today. To begin, let's get comfortable in a seated position and talk a little bit about what full moon energy represents in our life. As we approach the full moon, and even a couple of days after, it can be an optimal chance to absorb and amplify healing and clearing energy. The full moon can awaken some tense and sometimes uncomfortable feelings and emotions. However, at the same time, you may feel a greater desire to express, create, and release. Now, when we eventually learn to accept this energy, we can then harness the power in order to release, refresh, and prepare for our next cycle. To tap into this power, we'll be focusing on hip openers. This is because we tend to hold a lot of our tension and emotions in our hips. Being able to let go of this intensity will allow us to create space within our bodies, mind, and lives so we are ready to receive all of the healing and growth that is to come. Let's begin with our 3-part breathing exercise. It's very calming and soothing and will help us ground ourselves to deal with the uncomfortable feelings that may arise either emotionally, physically, or spiritually during this full moon. If your eyes aren't already closed, go ahead and shut them. If you find it helpful, bring your hand to your belly to help you focus your attention on your breath. Inhale, feeling first your belly, then lungs, and finally filling your throat with air. Exhale, releasing the air from your throat, through to your lungs, and finally your stomach. In, expanding the belly, lungs, and filling the throat. Exhale from the throat, lungs, then finally emptying the belly. Take a few more 3-part breathing breaths at your own pace. Return to your natural breathing. If you ever need to take a minute and maybe take a child's pose or to refocus your attention, please return to this breathing technique during your practice. Let's begin our warm-up by rolling our shoulders backwards and frontwards. Next, let's begin to tilt our heads from left to right before we begin some half circles through the back of our neck and then through the front. Extending out our arms, let's do some wrist circles clockwise and counterclockwise. Now inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, resting out to the right side. Inhaling up, exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale up, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale up, exhale, twist to the left. Go ahead and do a few more at your own pace. Preparing our bodies for cat-cow as we move into tabletop position, stacking our wrists below our shoulders and our knees below our hips. Inhale, arching that spine and looking up. Exhale, rounding our spine as we look towards our chest. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Go ahead and do a few more at your own pace. Returning to tabletop, let's move into some hip circles, moving a few times one way and switching to the opposite direction once you're ready. Once again, returning to tabletop, inhaling right arm and left leg up, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale up, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale up, exhale, elbow to knee. And opposite sides now, inhale up, exhale, elbow to knee. In, up, out to knee. In, up, and one more to knee. Let's now make our ways to our feet as we begin our moon salutations. First, grounding our feet to the floor, big toes together, heels slightly apart. Inhaling, palms up, maybe interlacing your fingers if that feels good. Exhale, tilt to the right. Inhale, up. Exhale, tilt to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale, opening up into star, and then sinking our hips down into goddess pose, making sure our feet are extended outward and our knees are behind our ankles. Extending our arms out and turning that back foot into a 90-degree angle as we feel a tug and then tip to the right side into Trikonasana. Inhale, looking up at your top hand if it feels comfortable. Exhale, turning our back foot in and taking a step forward as we fold forward into pyramid pose, squaring our hands with our front knee. Inhale, bending that right knee above the ankle, lifting our back heel for Ajnasana. Exhale, turning inwards on the balls of our feet, bringing hands to prayer or on the floor as we slide our lunge to the opposite side. Inhale, rotating back onto the balls of both our feet, squaring our knee and stepping forward into pyramid pose. Inhale, opening up that back foot. Exhale, raising our arms above our head in Trikonasana. Inhale, back to star. Exhale, sinking into goddess pose, pointing our feet outwards, knees behind our ankles. Inhale, back to star. Exhale, back to standing pose. Inhale, palms back up over the head. Exhale, tilt to the right. Inhale, up. Exhale, tilt to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale, opening up our body into star and sinking into goddess. Tailbone tucked, arms 90 degrees. Inhale, straightening out our limbs, turning toes to the right. Exhale, imagining we're being tugged and tipping, opening up our top arm. Inhale as our gaze follows our top hand. Exhale, our hands squaring our front knee, bending through our hips, flattening our back for pyramid pose. Inhale, bending your front knee and stepping your back foot behind you. Exhale, turning inwards on the balls of your feet, flexing your extended foot, hands on the floor or in prayer as we slide to the opposite side. Inhale, squaring our bent knee. Exhale as we take a step in, back to pyramid pose. Now open up that back foot to a 90-degree angle and extend your arm up, inhaling and exhaling. Lengthening our limbs once more for star and sinking down into goddess. As you exhale, feet pointing out, tailbone tucked, arms at a 90-degree angle. Inhale, spreading our limbs once more. Exhale, back to heart center. Eyes closed, giving ourselves a few moments here to rest. Maybe going through a cycle of our breathing exercise. Beginning our standing poses, start with your right foot firmly rooted into the ground and your left foot either by your ankle, on your shin, or up by your thigh. If you're feeling as though your balance maybe just isn't here today, you feel free to grab a chair or go stand by the wall so you can help keep yourself steady for our balance posture. Once you've found a version of this posture that works for you, hands to heart center, and either inhaling your arms up above your head or allowing them to remain right at your chest. Opening them up if it feels comfortable. To further help your balance, find something, maybe a spot on the ground or on the wall that isn't moving that you can focus in on. One more inhale and exhale, palms back down through heart center. From tree pose, we're either going to take our left leg and wrap it completely around our right, or just wrapping our ankles around each other if that's too much for us today. Now take your right arm and wrap it around your left, sinking your body into eagle pose. Slowly raising our bodies back up and releasing our limbs, giving ourselves a little bit of a shake. Firmly rooting our left foot into the ground and deciding whether we want our foot by our ankle, inside our shin, or inside our thigh. Bringing our hands to heart center and raising them above our head if that feels good, or grabbing onto the chair or wall once more to stable our balance. Finding that focus point either on the ground or on the wall in front of you once more. One more inhale and exhale, bringing our palms down through heart center. Dropping that right foot, either wrapping your leg around your left or just around the ankle. Take your left arm and wrap it up and over your right arm before sinking down into our eagle pose on the opposite side. Inhale, standing back up, and exhale, shaking out your limbs. Excellent. Now from our eagle pose, let's widen our stances, toes facing slightly in, hands on our hips, and let's begin to make a few hip circles both clockwise and counterclockwise, just to open up some mobility there. And finally, bending from our hips straight down until we feel our spine begin to curve, allowing our hands to fall to the floor. Inhale, stretching your right arm straight up. Exhale, bringing it back down. Inhale, stretching our left arm straight up. Exhale, back down. Next, we'll be extending our hands out to grab our ankles or our shins, wherever you're able to grab the best. Walk your hands back out, bringing them back to your hips, slowly reversing the bend. Heel toe your stance a bit closer together, allowing your big toes to be pointing slightly outwards this time. Slowly bend down into our yogic squat, elbows pushing our knees out and bringing our palms in between. We can either grab a block or something to sit on if that may feel more comfortable for our knees. Or we can bring it down a level, and finally, if we need more, go ahead and place the block in between your palms to push out your hips even further. Right now might be the perfect opportunity to return back to our breathing exercise from the beginning of the class. Taking our arms out from between our knees and sitting back down onto our bums, let's begin to open up our legs, extending them out on each side, one by one. You can grab either your big toes or maybe the outsides of your feet. If it's in your practice today, feel free to extend both legs out at the same time. If not, you can go ahead and continue going from side to side. Let's now bring the soles of our feet together and using our hands as a kickstand right behind us, lengthen our spine and gently flap our knees up and down for butterfly pose. Leave your left knee bent and open up your right leg, extending it out and flexing that right foot. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, twisting them over that bent knee. Raising your right arm up and bending your body over towards the extended leg. Don't worry if you can't fully grab onto that toe. Maybe you can reach your knee or your shin, or even bend your leg to make it more comfortable, as long as you're getting that full side body stretch and hip stretch. Release your grasp and turn inward, squaring our hips to the short side of the mat for pigeon. If it feels more comfortable, maybe grab a pillow or block for underneath your bum. Checking over both of our shoulders to be sure our leg is straight behind us. Slowly begin to walk your hands out in front of you, either resting your forehead on your hands, a pillow, a block, or just the ground beneath you. Slowly begin to walk your hands back up to your upright pigeon position, turning your extended foot out and switching to the opposite side. Right knee bending in and your left leg extending out. Inhale your arms up, exhale, twisting to the right. Extend that left arm up and out, either grabbing onto your big toe, bending that extended leg, or grabbing onto your shin. Making sure your chest stays open and you're looking up. On your next exhale, release your grasp and return back to squaring that front foot and turning into pigeon. Once again, checking that back leg to be sure that it's directly behind you. Elongating that spine before walking your hands down and resting your forehead. Slowly begin to walk your hands up, spreading those fingers wide and pushing your bums up and back. Maybe walking our legs out a little bit to shake off that deep stretch. Dropping our knees and allowing our foreheads to rest on the floor for puppy pose. Finally, rolling onto our backs and giving ourselves a nice, comfy stretch and happy baby pose. Maybe extending our legs out wider or bringing them closer together, holding onto the outsides of our feet and grabbing our big toes if that feels more comfortable. Now, hug your knees tightly into your chest, squeezing every inch of your body tight, tight, tight. Inhale, and as we exhale, release all of the limbs down into the support of the earth beneath us. Take this time in Shavasana to create space within your body, beginning from your toes, moving up through your ankles and shins, knees, hamstrings, focusing on the space we created today in our hips, through our bellies, and up through our chest. Imagining space being created through our hands, up our arms, our chest and shoulders, space within our neck, releasing any tension within our jaws, relaxing our facial features, and allowing the earth beneath us to hold our bodies. Begin bringing attention and awareness back into your body. Maybe rolling your ankles and wrists, moving around your shoulders and legs, moving neck from side to side, and beginning to take some deep breaths. Be windshield wiping your legs from side to side. And finally, bringing your knees towards your chest and turning over. Your eyes remaining closed. Once you're ready, go ahead and return to your seated position. Let's go through one more cycle of our 3-part breathing exercise. Inhaling first through the belly, then the lungs, and finally through the throat. Exhaling through the throat, lungs, and then the belly. Bring your hands to heart center and bow. Namaste, goddesses. I hope you all enjoyed our practice today. Happy full moon.